Hey, True Believers England team here with another batch of new comic book reviews. This is where we review comics that are still on the shelf at the time of this recording. Always a DC, a Marvel, an independent comic book. This time around, we've got two Marvels, a DC. We've got Mary Jane, Spider-Woman, The Plunge, and a book called Decorum for you to check out. So stick around for that, and let's get this party started. And we're going to have to start off with Spider-Woman. I think that's the big one in this batch. And I got to tell you, I took my wife to the comic shop. She saw the covers, and immediately I was like, well, this is the new cover, maybe, or new costume. Why don't we get the cover with that on? And she's like, no. How iconic is the old costume? And they changed it, and they made it more generic. It's more generic Spider-Person. I don't know, maybe they thought it would tie into Spider-Man a little bit more and sell the book a little easier, but the original is so iconic and it's eye-catching. I'm sorry, that's my belief on the new comic book costume. If you dig on it, that's your bag, man. I'm just a little bit different. I'm a different breed of cat on this. I am digging the old. Let's get down to business. As far as the story is concerned, we see there's actually a backup story which precedes this one. Like, it's in the back, but by chronological order, it takes place in front of the main story, where we see that Jessica needs money, so she takes a security job where she's watching a rich kid and protecting her on this boat during her birthday. And somebody attacks the boat trying to get to her. Afterwards, some little kid in a Deadpool costume says something that Jessica Drew doesn't like, so Spider-Woman throws him off the ship. Just, here you go, and here's a raft. I'm going to leave you to the sharks. Doesn't really pay attention for the rest of the book. I mean, another batch of bad guy shows up, and she fights him. Finally, little Deadpool kid makes it back up. She picks him up and throws him into some bad guys. It's like, holy crap, all of a sudden it's not toxic masculinity, it's toxic puberty, and she's going to be kicking all sorts of ass all over it. She seems more angry at the kid than the guy with the guns trying to take the person she's supposed to be protecting. It's bad writing. It really is. And I wish I could say, well, but at least the dialogue is there. No. Can't really go with that either. There's not much here to like, which is kind of sad because I do like the Spider-Woman character. It's just, man, this book is such a miss. It really hurts. It hurts when you're looking forward to something like this, and I put this on my pull list like 3 months ago when I first heard about it. I said, yeah, I want this. And holy Toledo, what a letdown. Next up, we're going to talk about another book I was looking forward to. It's called The Plunge, a Joe Hill book, the new one from Joe Hill, man. I saw the cover. I was like, oh, dude, a shark. I love shark horror. I'll even take the silly stuff like three-headed shark and all that kind of stuff. I've lived in Florida forever. I used to live on the coast. I had my own little run-in with a shark that I was a little kid at the time, and now that I'm 50, the shark's grown to Jaws-like proportions in my mind. I'm pretty sure it was just a little 3 or 4 footer, but now it's it's like the freaking Meg. Anyway, this really does start off awesome with this guy discovering all these dead giant squid on the beach, and all of a sudden there's a tsunami and everything. It really just takes off, and then it becomes exposition. Now, this is obviously written for the trade. We meet the character here. She runs an aquarium. She's swimming around with a great white shark in captivity. Didn't we see this in Jaws 3 that it can't be done? Anyway, obviously she's here to tell us the sharks aren't that bad. And, then we go right on to the other characters where we meet a salvage team. And somebody's saying, well, we got a boat, and it's in Russia, and it's in a little atoll, and we need you to go in, and we need you to raise it. It's 40 years old. We haven't heard from anything. And then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. And so they're hired to go and get this boat. Now, I just told you that in about, oh, say 7 seconds. This takes pages of dialogue to explain, oh, we need you to go get this boat. And them going, well, and it's exposition after exposition after exposition. And after a while, it gets dull. It's an information dump where you can see it here. It's all talking heads rather than showing us this history of this ship. It's just telling us about it. Absolutely written for the trades. I wanted to like this so much, but unfortunately, not. I don't like it all that much. I'm sorry, I just don't. I've got the second issue already. I bought them both at the same time, so that's going to be coming up in another review or a Marvel versus DC or something like that. I just hope it picks up. And next up, we're going to be talking about Decorum by Jonathan Hickman. I actually picked this book up not knowing that. I saw the cover. I was like, okay. I heard some people talking about this. Like, oh, okay, I say as I open it and I see this thing which looks exactly like the X-Men. Let's not be riding that pony around another person's yard, huh? All the way out here in Independent Land, and you've got these little black and white pages, and then just to add insult to injury, this is a page to the comic, just chapter 1. Well, thank you very much. We did not know it was a number 1 from that big number 1 on the front of the book, and then it gets into the page here, which is supposed to give you backstory instead of actually reading it as part of the comic book. But I can't really complain about the way they started off here. This is pretty cool. I like the first part of this book where we get the conquistadors and they go to the island, and it's obviously something's up with it all. It is violent. There's a lot of action to it. The sequential art tells the story, and it works in that way. And I like that sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I do like it where you can get a good story just by looking at the pictures. It's one of the great things about comic book, there's the actual drawings, right? So might as well have them do their job. And the problem with the book is that after this segment, and after we see that it's actually aliens and all that kind of stuff, the book kind of goes downhill. And unfortunately, it goes downhill really, really fast. I mean, it does. It just, I wanted to see that first part. I was so intrigued, so enticed. I was like, oh my gosh, this looks really cool. Okay, I'm into this now. I'm into this. And then it turns into an assassin double cross book. Seriously, after this page right here, I think, not this page, but the next one that we're gonna end on here. After this, it's like, okay, it becomes another book. And it's not nearly as interesting as what came before. So what you just saw was the best what this book offers, and it never gets that good again. The Amazing Mary Jane, number 6. So here's a little bit of embarrassment. I've been pushing The Amazing Mary Jane. I read the first issues, and I'm like, wow, this is fun. Leah Williams, all right, you're crafting us a nice little story here that doesn't take itself seriously. There's no preconceived notion as to where this should go. The art is good. Mary Jane's being drawn like Mary Jane and not Mary John, and it's pretty cool. I've been enjoying it, and then I read this issue, and I'm like, oh my God, this book sucks. And I'm not talking about a little bit sucks. This is horrible. I didn't like Spider-Woman, but man, this is bad. There's not a good character in there. So Mary Jane goes on this talk show here, and it doesn't even seem like the talk show host wants any of her guests on. It's like she's bothered by them being there, but they are, of course, they're her show. So there should be some sort of, politeness to the whole ordeal. A little bit of gratitude as well. Hey, thank you for being on the show. But it's just, oh my goodness. I guess it's Leah trying to tell jokes, but it just comes off as dickish and mean. So anyway, while they're there, Mary Jane sees murder, and then she's got to escape from it, and she gets tied up in with the cops, and who want to get her away. And this is where the great dialogue comes in that nobody's ever seen this killer. Why does he have a mask? And that's exactly it. It was like, why is he tall with black hair and has like an Oni mask? Yeah. Oh my gosh, we've heard of him. Nobody's ever seen him. Wait, what? So if nobody's ever seen him, how did word about him get out? Is it like, is he a legend? And, it's very bad dialogue. It really was. But, it's par for the course for this particular issue. Now, fingers crossed that this is a one-off and in issue 7, it's going to get back on track. But, oh my God, this book right here is GARE freaking Baj. Okay, gang, as usual, I'm lining these up from best to worst, and as you can see, there's no best this time around. There's no book I was like, woohoo, all right, this is the one. Oh, this is a bad batch. It really is. So, yeah, I like Plunge a little bit better. Decorum has at least that first half of the book that's okay, but then it just falls apart. Spider-Woman is bad, but holy crap is Mary Jane just absolutely horrible. I can't recommend it. As a matter of fact, I could recommend to stay away from it as much as you can. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let us know in the comments below. And if you do like the video, click on one of the ones that are popping up around here. And don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell, making sure that notifications are on for both YouTube and Google. And if you do like the material, please help us out. Go on over to Patreon or Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till, and helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. This is the way we're trying to make a living. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.